There are a few tactics important to catching trout on soft plastics. Whole raft of issues, from the gear you use, soft plastics you use, where you fish, how you fish. So getting it right from the start will always help you. 3-inch size soft plastics are, I've found, the very best size to use for them. 4-inch, you'll catch fish on 4-inch, but I just find I catch a lot more fish on 3-inch. Two favourite soft plastics that I use for trout, a squidgy fish, 3-inch squidgy fish, or a 3-inch Berkeley gulp minnow. Either one works really well. The gulp minnow comes with a bit of scent, and the squidgy fish in the pro range will come with S-factor that you can put on, but either one will catch fish. Squidgy fish, being a paddle tail, will tend to catch fish on a easier retrieve, like so. And the gulp, you need to probably work a little bit. But having said that, even the squidgy fish, it's handy to work them either way. Now, just as far as your tackle goes, the most important thing is use a fluorocarbon leader, and if you can get away with it, 4-pound fluorocarbon leader. If the fish are too big and busting you off, 5 or 6, but don't go above 6 pound. Gel spun main line, 4 pounds, all you need. You can fish 3. I reckon 6 pound gel spun is too heavy. Got to remember that 6 pound gel spun's probably going to be breaking at around about 8 to 12 pound actual breaking strain, depending on the make of the gel spun you buy. Back to tactics. You can see where we're fishing here, purposely fishing in about 20 feet of water, and I'm casting out of the boat in this case. And the reason for that is during a hot day, brown trout are going to live around an area like this. Where there's rocks, you're going to find yabbies. We're in Lake Yukonbean, but it applies to most mainland lakes in Australia, most mainland trout lakes. So the trout are going to be feeding on yabbies in here at night. Brown trout don't move far from where they feed during their nocturnal feeding time. So they're going to be out here isomised in about 20-25 feet of water. Obviously during the day. Fishing a soft plastic, getting it down to 20 feet. Quite often I'll just sit it, let it drop. When you know you're on the bottom, give it a rip and then just let it drop again. Often you'll just come up tight on a fish. Just a rip, drop it back down. This great Yukonbean brownie took a 3-inch gulp minnow, simply bounced retrieved near the bottom. But I did have to switch down to a 4-pound fluorocarbon leader to initiate the bite.
Just flicking as far as I can. Now we've got the right breeze again. We're going to drift along this bank. Just let this jig head sink to the bottom. So 1/24 of an ounce. It's quite small. And it's a little, it's on the bottom now, this little flick, wind, little flick flick, wind up your slack, flick flick. A bit of a bite a couple of casts ago. Cast back in the same area. Yeah. She's got some go on him. On the soft plastic again. Must be brownie. Ooh, a good one too. fat male. Here we are at Yukonbeam Lake in mid-afternoon. It's got this brownie on a 8 centimetre gulp minnow in the smelt pattern. Just bouncing along the bottom there, just behind me where those boulders are. Beautiful little brown trout. Probably just over a kilo. And a great little fight.
Now just where you fish for trout on soft plastics, pretty much like same sort of deal as you would with any form of lure casting. In this case, I've actually tied up to a tree, sounded the water, about 25 feet, it's just where I want to be. Cast down the 25-foot line parallel to shore, move back, drift down a little bit longer on the electric, tie up on a tree down here a bit further, do the same again, slowly work the whole shore. Another option is you can just drift on your electric, cast with the wind. Very important that you cast with the wind if there's any wind. I really like putting the cast as long as I can and as far away from the boat as I can. 90% of the takes are going to be at the end of the cast, and I just like putting as much distance as I can between myself and the fish. Soft plastics from shore works just as well. You can fish a soft plastic from shore here, cast out, retrieve back in. Works really well, and we'll probably give that a bit of a go a bit later on as well. Soft plastics I find from shore on bleak days works very, very well. Bleak days, overcast days, fish move in and feed during the day. Sunny days like this, they're going to be out 20-25 feet of water waiting for the late afternoon sun to go down before they move in. So, talking about bleak days and lure casting soft plastics from the shore, today's just perfect. Bleak, cold, miserable, but hey, we could be getting some trout. Well, Lake Yukonbeam on a very, very, very cold early October morning, and got to say we're here at Buckendeer Arm trying to get a few of these browner rainbows that are coming in on the flooded margins. The last month the lake's risen 10%, and it's a rare opportunity. It hasn't risen this much in 5 years, I'd say. It's quite a rare opportunity to get some fish in the shallows as the flooded margins are covered here by the incoming water. Water's not all that clear, a lot of rain, we had snow yesterday, believe it or not, and the temperature at the moment's not too far off 0 degrees. It's going to try a few jerk shads or jerk minnows for trout. Got a little 3-inch job here, just see what we can get, just work them in over the shallows. A lot of guys fish scrub worms in conditions like this. It's too shallow to fish mud eyes under a bubble float really. A lot of the water might only be 1, 2, perhaps 3 metres deep. We're just going to try some soft plastics though. This is a pretty good retrieve for trout. This is what we call a hop and drop technique. Just cast out, in this case a jerk shad, hop it, drop it. Keep winding, hop it, drop it. Hop it up, drop it back down. Keep the wind going though. Sometimes I like a fast retrieve, but this is one when they're slow retrieve. Lots of variation to it as well. But basically, hop it, drop it back down. Hop it, drop it back down. That's a bit better. There's a nice brown trout. Not huge, but he certainly wanted that stick bait. That's what these fish are doing. They've just come in prodding around the flooded margins here. He's not a big brown trout. He's a nice one. He's not too bad. And he's just inhaled that little stick bait, that little Berkeley 3-inch. He's not a bad trout. Actually, I was just hopping that jerk bait as well, and it took it on the drop. So you just hop it quick, drop it. He just took it up on the drop. Nice little fish. We'll just let this fella go. There he goes. Now, one thing we need to be aware of here with rigging these soft plastics, and David, you've probably made a little bit of a mistake here. See how you bunched up the jerk bait on the jig head? Yep. Really need to be particular about that. I'm finding you just won't get a fish if it's bunched up. It's got to be rigged perfectly. So what I'll do, take him out of there. Best thing to do is get a bit of a rough measure as to where it needs to be. I always like to come out in the belly. Just take it down. See, I'm hardly an expert either. Just to come out a bit further. So you just want it so it
lies flat.
So it just lies nice and flat, yeah. Just like so.
Excellent.
Not bunched at all.
Yeah, thanks.
And try the drop and hop method. We were skating them in before for the last 4 or 5 hours, not getting anything. Throw them out, sink down, hop it, drop it. This looks like good fish, David. You need a net? Okay. Oh, he's a nice brown. That's an absolute ripper. Just on the jerk bait. Oh, have a look at that. Hey, what a lovely Yucambine brown. Hey. So David, you just got him on the hop and the drop?
Yeah.
In close?
Yes.
Yeah. Work well, don't they? Oh. And you think rigging up that jerk bait the right way helped?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
I've been throwing for about half an hour and caught nothing. Well, the second throw with it re-rigged properly, I got them a fish. So.
Good fish. Biggest brown you've caught?
Absolutely, yeah.
And a bonus on the soft plastic too, which is good. Great little job. All of a kilo, beautifully coloured.
Yeah, they're a fit healthy fish, aren't they?
Yeah. So there you have it. Trout on soft plastics aren't all that difficult. Remember, start off using a 3-inch or maybe a 4-inch soft plastic, rig them straight and true, hop and drop the retrieve, and good luck.